And welcome to Manuel Goes Racing, and a look at the latest update for AMS2, and that's the 1.3.7.1. He's just looking quickly into the corner of the screen because what he's got on the screen in front of him says something different, because I haven't covered the 1.3.6.2 yet. So I'll run through that first, and then we'll get on to the latest updates. So the 1.3.6.2, because the last one I covered was 6.1. Physics, Genetic G55, both models, adjusted front splitter height sensitivity and reduced rear wing efficiency, both models. McLaren 720S GT3, further adjustments to default setup to reduce low speed cornering instability, particularly when tyres are overheating, increased 6th gear length, adjusted default traction control and engine braking, setup reset required. Porsche cut both models, revised tyre model to more closely simulate Michelin N2 hard slicks, slightly raised rear roll centre by adjusting rear upper suspension arm angle, minor adjustments to stiffness distribution and low speed damping, minor differential adjustments, setup reset required, Ultimate GTR race, minor FFP adjustments. AI, improved AI paths for Alton Park, all layouts, Cadillac DPI, adjusted AI suspension rate multipliers causing poor AI performance, all updated physics. Audio, Porsche 911 cut both models, fixed engine pitch discrepancy between external chase cam, view, sound and cockpit audio. Tracks, Alton Park, minor optimisation to garage building interior, minor track cut limit adjustments. Rebuilt bollard physics, exports to fix excessive damage to player car at Alton Park and Cowell Park. Vehicles, Metal Moro MRX P3 P4, new and updated liveries. Stock Car Pro 2022, updated Bruno Baptista Toyota Corolla livery, added dirt maps to Formula V10 Gen 2, Formula V12 Genetic G40, both models. Sigma P1 and Opala, all models. Revised functionality of analog gauges in Formula Vintage, Formula Retro Gen 1 and Lotus 23, Formula Retro V8, V12, Lotus 72, McLaren M23, updated gauges, texture, F Retro V8, V12, Lotus 72, McLaren M23 corrected oil and water gauges, Brabham BT26, fixed gauges, issue Formula Vintage Gen 1, Gen 2, M1, M2, fixed gauges, issue Lotus 23, fixed oil and water gauge issue, Ultimate GTR Street, fixed graphical height offset causing car body to sit high over the wheels. Now I hit this other tab, hopefully I get to the right. The first thing to say, the new update, no new content. There should be, hopefully, if I remember reading the right thing in the forum and I wasn't dreaming, there should be some new content next month. Hopefully. Right, new updates is once again largely focused on bug fixing, maintenance of older content and extending recent physics developments to a wider range of cars. Formula V12, Formula V10 G1, Formula V10 G2, Formula Reza, Group C, GT5 and G40 Cup now join the list of cars having received extensive physics updates, with another substantial update also included for the Super V8. Right. Just make that a bit bigger so I can read it. Always useful if you're trying to read something that you can actually read it. Scroll up a bit. Right, 1362 to 1370 changelog general. Fixed issue that could lead to vehicle being stuck in pits when manual pit stop option was set to no. That's embarrassing. Fixed incorrect +1 lap duration string on session overview in first session of an event. Fixed TT Ghost submission failing for vehicles with 8 gears. Software development is weird at times. Fixed pit strategy repair option not correctly updating in the ICM when changing saving strategies in session. Added engine vibration depending on engine layout and firing order. Output to FFB wheels. So if you got a flat plane crank V8, it'll feel different to a cross plane crank V8 apparently. Yeah. UI and HUD. Added static personal best element to the time trial screen. Fixed stray text on championship end of weekend leaderboard. Fixed missing localization of camera GeForce effect options. Fixed lobby detail page join button inaccessible by controllers. Adjusted number of gears for Copa Uno B for the vehicle selection info. Updated Puma P052 and Super V8 vehicle selection info as per latest physics updates. Physics, extensive tyre, suspension and aero revisions for the Formula Classic, all gens, Formula V12, Formula V10 Gen 1 and McLaren MP412, Formula V10 Gen 2, Formula Racer Group C, GT5 and G40 Cup. Setup, reset, recommended. I'll spit that out. Revised flexible axles, driveline elasticity for Formula Vintages, Formula Retros, Formula Classic, Formula V12, Formula V10, Formula Racer and Formula Ultimates. Added flexible axles to Ipalas and Puma GTB, Camaro SS and Group C. Revised driveline elasticity and inertia for Camaro SS, Group A 2002 Turbo, Omega Stock Group C Formula Trainer, Caterham's Art Camaro P3, P4, F3, Sprint Race, Puma P052. The revised driveline inertia for Corvette C3, C3R, Omega Stock, Formula V, Copa Classics, Copa Uno, Copa Fusca, Hot Cars, 60s Mini, Street Cars, Group A, 2002 Turbo, RSR 74, M1 Pro Car, and Opalas. Added engine torque effect on chassis and live rear axle, if a car has one. Stating the obvious, really, isn't it? Added new firing distance override, intended mostly for flat plane crankshaft V8s. Directly overrides calculated firing pulse distances. Fixed differential reaction to torque orientation on some driveline layouts. Super V8, further revisions following 3D model scale correction. Corrected wheelbase and track width, adjusted front splitter pitch, sensitivity, corrected engine orientation. Adjusted weight distribution, caster range and default setting, setup reset recommended. Group A, increased clutch torque capacity slightly, increased cooling rate slightly, better resistance to wear before torque capacity degradation starts. Cadillac DPI, minor tyre tread adjustment. Formula Ultimate, both gens, slightly reduced under tray downforce. Uno, both models, corrected engine orientation. Caterham, all models, revised engine inertia, heating, cooling, fuel consumption. F. Just says F at the end of that sentence. Whatever. Art Camaro, added clutch damage. Ginetta G40, both models, revised engine inertia and compression. Puma P052, revised turbo and engine base power delivery and fuel consumption, adjusted engine inertia, revised open diff. Ginetta G55, both models, fixed error with front toe, changed default setting to a minus 0.2, setup reset recommended. AI calibration pass for Cadillac DPI, Formula V12, Formula V10, both gens, Formula Racer, Formula Ultimates, Super V8, Porsche GT3 Cup, GT5 and G40 Cup. Kansai GP, fix AI cutting the pit exit line when pit out. Daytona, AI corner speed tweaks. Tracks, Daytona, corrected pit cam excessive shaking. Vehicles, Super V8, revised 3D model to correct dimensional error, see physics log. Caterham, all models, added damage, dangling parts, added vibrating cockpit bits. Fixed reverse lights, adjusted light glows, texture, UV map, Channel 5, revised collision, Chevette, added damage, dangling parts, fixed reverse lights, added light glow texture, UV map, Channel 5, diffused alpha channel and material, revised collision. Passat, all models, added damage, dangling parts, fixed reverse lights, adjusted light glow textures, UV map, Channel 5, revised collision. Uno, both models, added damage, dangling parts, fixed reversing lights, adjusted light glow texture, UV map channel 5, added normal map and adjusted the material, fixed Lodder A errors, mirrors, revised collision, revised functionality of analog gauges for Opalas, all models, Lotus 49C, Volvo Retro Gen 3, both models, and McLaren MP4 1C. Mercedes AMG GT3, 5 liveries updated to include sponsors. Porsche Cup added 2 new liveries. Geneta G40 Cup fixed car red material issue. Version 1.3.7.1 changelog after a quick swig. UI and HUD. Fixed wrong initial active tab in single player session overview. Physics, further tyre revisions to Formula Classic Gen 1 and Gen 2, Formula V12, Formula V10, Gen 1 and Gen 2, Formula Racer, Formula Ultimate Gen 2 Hard, Group C, Super V8 Soft and Hard, Formula USA, all gens, fully revised, added hard compound to Formula USA Gen 1, setup reset recommended for revision, setup changes to take effect. Revised ride height ranges and default settings to all GTEs, GT3s, Formula Classics, Formula V12, Formula V10 Gen 1 and Formula V Gen 2, Formula Racer. Setup reset recommended. Revised front wing height sensitivity for Formula Classics, Formula V12, Formula V10 Gen 1, Formula V10 Gen 2, Formula Racer. Adjusted diffuser baseline downforce for Formula V10s, Formula Racer and Formula Ultimate Gen 1, revised front wing dirty air sensitivity for Formula Classics, Formula V12, Formula V10s, Formula Racer and Formula Ultimate Gen 1, revised front wheel drive open differential for Passats, Golds, Unos and the 1965 Mini. Fixed Formula Retro tyre carcass being incorrectly linked to updated Formula Classics. Fixed Formula V12 and Formula V10 missing tyre names. Geneta G40 both models adjusted a geared differential coast bias, reduced brake torque, minor default setup adjustments, setup reset recommended for changes to take effect. Puma P052 reduced brake torque, minor default setup adjustments, reset recommended. AI calibration passed to Formula USA, all gens, Formula Classic, all gens, Formula V12, V10, Gen 1 and Gen 2, Formula Racer, Formula Ultimate, Gen 1 and Gen 2, Super V8, GT3 and Stock Car 29. Generally reduced AI performance when running slicks on a wet track to better match the player's performance. Tracks, Silverstone 1991, fixed hole in the terrain mesh. Vehicles, Copa Montana, added damage models, restored wipers and cockpit animations, Apala all models, added damaged dangling parts, fixed some LOD issues, revised collisions. Puma GTE, added damaged dangling parts, fixed the reverse lights, wasn't working before. Adjusted lights, diffused texture, glow texture, UV map and adjusted material, revised collision. Puma GTB, added damage models, fixed cockpit hood skin. BMW 2002 full grid livery update, Corvette C3 full grid livery update plus 3 new liveries. And here endeth the reading. Now, the Formula Classics got a few mentions in there. I don't think I've tried them lately, so what I thought I'd do was a couple of laps around the 1991 Silverstone, which is probably my least favourite layout. Or I should say it's my least favourite due to the curbs, not the layout. Quite a few of the curbs are very square, so if you catch them you get spat out rather a lot. Now I thought I'd try the Gen 2 Model 1, which is the V8 6-speed H pattern. I've got auto clutch on and I did give us a quick whirl just to try it for a couple of laps, and I will drive it without doing any alterations initially. I might have to go in and adjust the front wing slightly because I found a turn in the aero balance is a little bit too far forward for my liking. But one thing of note is the auto clutch seems to be doing the right thing and also clutching without sort of doing stupid things in between the gear changes, which is good. So you can pin it and just rely on the auto cut and the auto blip to actually do the right thing, even though it's meant to be an H pattern. So like Like I said, the curves are a little bit lumpy, although this one's flat. Whatever, you just have to remember which ones are flat, which ones are heavily sloped, and we'll run out of gears. Getting a lot of vibration through the steering as the front tyres scrub across the tarmac there. Bit twitchy coming out of there, always quite difficult to get out of. Through bridge. Scary corner. Now this is where I was having problems with what felt like the car's balance being a bit too pointy, but we'll try and just drive around it rather than adjust it. Like I said, I did try just taking 3 clicks off the front wing, and that actually made a huge difference. Like you turn in, it's a little bit too sharp. Probably just adjusting the steering ratio would help as well, but the car feels generally really nice, and actually being able to change gear without having to worry about lifting is quite nice as well, because I'm a lazy old cunt. Getting a lot, and I mean a lot of vibration through the wheel. It's going to get a lot more vibration now that they've sort of stiffened up the tyres as well, and they might have changed slightly the FFB again, you can never tell. But generally speaking, I have to say this is really nice to drive now. I mean, it was always reasonable, but just got that more directness to it. No idea if that's a good lap or not, but we'll do one more just for luck. That was where the aero balance was a little bit iffy. Bit of luck, I'm young and got quick reflexes, so I catch it, he said, taking a piss. Brakes are still a bit on the sharp side for my liking. I don't know if that's simulating a really rough piece of tarmac right there, but I should really do another lap and pull up the FFB meter. Down the bottom there, FFB meter, let's see how shaky it gets. I could do with making it a bit bigger so it's easier to spot, but that's better. That way I don't get the tyres in my way so I can see where I'm going. Now, you should be able to see. Oop, you should be able to see how much it was shaking up and down. I was looking down there and actually fucked up the corner, so. Yeah, a lot of FFB vibration coming out there, so. Yes, really nice car. The tyres are showing as being quite warm, although if I actually press the right combination of fucking buttons here, they're not actually overheating or anything. Despite the spin, they're still sort of 90 degrees. So I'm assuming they're still waiting to get the like colours quite right. Because I thought 90 degrees, anything up to 100 degrees should be quite reasonably safe for these. So they shouldn't really be going, I'm overheating until you're getting up over 100, I would hope. We'll see what they do. But again, really nice improvement of the car. I haven't driven this for a while, but it's definitely a lot better. But I would suggest either add one click on the rear wing or take about 3 off the front wing around here. It's just a bit too much rotation at times, but that I did try earlier. I'll set it back to default now, but I did try earlier and just took 3 clicks off the front wing, and it made a huge difference. You can still drive it like this if you're actually looking where you're going. But that covers the latest update. I must get around to doing a couple more videos and have a look at things like the AI and see how they're improving, because people keep shouting about how good they are, so I might get around to it soon. Well, there's a couple of other things I want to check out first in Race Room's latest update and a few other bits and pieces, but for me, for now, where's my button? That'll do, and enjoy your racing, have fun, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.